So what's happened today?
So in this very spot, or in fact just over there, about 200 people gathered as part of this mass overdose of homeopathy. Happened all over the country: Liverpool,
Oxford,
Glasgow, Southampton,
Bristol.
And it was fantastic. I think real enthusiasm, a real kind of sense of occasion. And the point of it, I think the point of it for me was to demonstrate, make people aware of the fact that homeopathy isn't a herbal medicine, but it's actually a medicine that's got absolutely nothing in it. And if people want to buy sugar, there are cheaper ways to get sugar than to go to Boots, for example.
Yeah, I think it's also quite important to highlight that respected chemists on the high streets are prepared to sell people this as well and make money from it. And undoubtedly people know in the chemists, the pharmacists know that they are inert sugar pills, and yet they're prepared to take money off people for teething babies remedies and travel sickness and so on. And I think that just needs highlighting.
I've been to 3 Boots this week, and the first one said yes, there's evidence of that it works. The second one again said there's good evidence that homeopathy works. And the third one, I wasn't even asking about homeopathy, and the first line of treatment they offered me was a homeopathic pill. And I just think it's utterly shocking. And it's a circular thing that people trust Boots, and they see it on the shelf on Boots, so they assume homeopathy works. And then because they assume it works, they go back into Boots and they start asking for it. And so Boots really do need to decide whether they want to be a pharmacist with a very good reputation, or a pharmacist who'll sell anything to anyone as long as they're prepared to pay enough money. And the trouble is, I don't think people are, the learned societies, trading standards offices, other people don't seem to be doing anything about it. So the great thing about today was that young people and us, kind of arranged something. The Merseyside Skeptics have done a great job, the London Skeptics in the pub and so on, to try and just tell the public what it's all about.
And I think it wouldn't be so bad. We're not trying to ban homeopathy, I would have thought. I mean, I think the problem in, say, Boots is that they mix it up with everything else as well. And so there seems to be no distinction between things that might work, because they've really got some drugs in them, and things that definitely don't.
Yeah.
And I think it'd be far better if these things were just confined to the health food shops and so on, and people can make choices. If that's what they're into, then great. But in chemists, that strikes me as just being wrong.
Or proper labelling would be a way forward. You know, if it said, you know, there is no good evidence to suggest this product works for anything whatsoever.
A bit like the labelling on foods, perhaps, that say high fat and high evidence, no evidence.
Yeah, and it's, you know, to what extent it's a very trivial matter. If somebody's got a cold or a cough, although that's not necessarily trivial, but you know, if people have got colds and sniffles, then taking a homeopathic pill, I think I've often heard people say that without homeopathy a cold gets better in a week, and with homeopathy it just takes 7 days. You know, it's not an important issue. But on the other hand, David Colquhoun, Professor Colquhoun, who writes the blog Improbable Science, he's been into Boots recently and said, look, I've got a grandchild, and the grandchild's a young baby with diarrhoea. Would homeopathy be effective? And pharmacists have said, yes, here, take this. And perfectly good treatment for that, an effective and important treatment, which is cheap. And instead of that, pharmacists, not just homeopaths, but pharmacists are willing to profit from it. And hopefully what's happened today has gone some of the way to let people know the truth about it. As the slogan of the campaign says, there's nothing in it.
And I think this is where it gets really dangerous then as well. This is a homeopathic remedy called Malaria Co 30C. And if Boots are sort of endorsing this stuff, then someone, when going on holiday, might be tempted to buy something like this, which will provide absolutely no protection whatsoever, which is something that you're quite interested in.
No, and I think until very recently, Neil's Yard were selling something along these lines.
Neil's Yard sold me this.
Ah, right, okay. It's a scary situation, and I forgot what I was going to say. I was so scared. Yes.
Yeah, a dramatic ending. That was good. Yeah, we're all terrified,
Yes.
speechless.